Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Moments with Mindleaps. My name is Rebecca Davis, and I'm the Executive Director of Mindleaps. And happy Friday to everyone. I say it every week, and maybe I should stop saying it, but it's so true that I like to repeat it. Every Friday is one of my favorite times in my job at Mindleaps because I get to interview with some of the most impressive, exciting, and motivating people that I've had the chance to meet and that have been a part of the Mindleaps story. And this Friday is no exception. Today we get to meet with Eugene Dushime, who's the international coordinator of Mindleaps, but also has an extensive career that's gone far beyond Mindleaps, both as a professional dancer and then with academic studies and with a variety of NGO work. We're saying hello to all of our friends. Mervan is joining us from North Macedonia. Eileen is joining us from Rwanda. We're so happy to see all of you here with us today. Jean is joining us from Rwanda as well, from Kigali, Rwanda. And he is our international coordinator, but has had many different positions as he's joined all the way through the Mindleaps story. Him in here. And we're excited to see how strong our connection is this week as we go across the ocean. Jean is our short name for one of our favorite friends. Jean, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you, Rebecca. It's a great pleasure, and thank you for this opportunity also.
So many of our friends from around the world have already joined, even before you. Yvette from our refugee camps in UNHCR, Janet from Philadelphia, our new friends from North Macedonia. So everybody is excited to see the stories and the words of inspiration that you'll share with us today, Jen. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
It's so easy for me to do this interview because Jen and I have known each other for 11 years now.
Yeah.
So I have to remember that we can't. The first thing that I want to ask you, Jen, is dance has always been a huge part of your life. It's how we got to know each other. It's how we built Mindleaps. And your understanding of the arts goes beyond dance to all of the creative art forms. But it's not so common to find people in different parts of Africa who've had that as kind of their driving force in life from their very early ages all the way through to their professional careers. So tell us a little bit about how dance has connected you with your life, with your career, with your family. What does dance mean to you?
I mean, for me, dance is a lifestyle. Dance is a way of life as well. I would say that I discovered that at the age of 12 years old. I grew up with, my relatives were dancers, and they started dancing at a very younger age, traditional. Then my two brothers moved to hip hop, and my two sisters were doing traditional dance, and they were part of a traditional troupe. But I was the shy kid. I was born in a family of five kids. I was in the middle, two boys, big brothers, and two sisters. They were all dancers. Then being shy was thinking like, yeah, I want to go for medicine. I don't want to just dance. And if I do martial arts on side and do medicine, that will help me like grow up in a person that I wanted it to be, who is like a person who is saving people. So I was not seeing actually how dance was important in my life. But growing up with my siblings, I realized that they have a certain joy when they are dancing. I started thinking about that. So, I was hiding myself in my room, putting the books on the side and trying to imitate what they were doing, especially the ones who were doing hip hop, my brothers. And I saw that it was so easier for my sisters to imitate the movement that was complicated for me in like my dark space alone. And then I said maybe I should try. Then when I got an opportunity to be part of the training and University of Rwanda at that time with University Center for Arts and Drama, I jumped on that opportunity, wanting to be like to know what it feels to dance. Then it was a kind of magnet, you know, when you are in that in that moment when you feel connected to people, to like the feeling you have with dance is much more than what you feel like after the training of a martial arts. And I said, this is more peaceful, and the people are lovely, and you like without saying words, you feel like connected to the people around you. And I had this. I was so fortunate to also in my first step into dance, contemporary dance. I was connected to the right people who also love that arts. So it became so easy for me to jump in, and I kept continue until I decided also I was not doing the things that I was planning before, and I kind of it's a kind of jumping in the plane, and you don't know if you will, if you attempt the ground, you know, like being broken. But yeah, that was my first trip on my first step on this journey.
Jean, you articulated so beautifully. I've actually only heard pieces of that story. I can't believe in all of these years I've never heard the whole story. I'm so lucky to be talking to you today. The way that you describe dance as a magnet is such a beautiful image, and it just summarizes, I think, so many of those different emotions and connections that we try to explain in words that are really hard to capture. But as you say, it's just something that like pulls you into people, and the fact that it doesn't require language, it doesn't require translation, it's just so human at its core. I love this idea of it being a magnet. And the other thing that you say about, you know, that you were fortunate that the people around you kind of had the right approach to it and the positivity around it. And I think that that's something that certainly in my country, in the United States, is so much a factor of whether or not people stay with the arts, stay with dance. Were they connected to it kind of through people who really loved the art form, or was it more of something just to fill time? And I think that, yeah, the people that connect us to the art form are so critical. And I wonder if that's part of the reason why your professional experiences have gone so broad and so deep. Dancing, of course, with Amazero as a professional dancer, traveling to Europe, traveling across Africa with the company, and then, of course, marrying that with your academic studies, which I think is just such a great role model for everyone around the world today. Getting your bachelor's degree and then going on to get your MBA with a focus on project management, and then your extensive work with all of the NGOs and Mindleaps, of course. Share with us a couple of like the highlights of this extensive professional career that you're still building, and kind of what stood out for you so far along this journey.
I mean, as I said, I kept following that inner voice telling me like, yeah, go for this. And I had people that I met, like Wesley Ruzibiza, my brother Tato, like they kept saying like, dance, you know, dance maybe you will not be kind of rich, but you will feel like you are part of this world and you are part of something great, you know. And also later on, when I met with the people that I'm working with on Mindleaps, I truly realized that that was true what they said, because most of the time we also have to listen to people who are around us, because sometimes they know better than we do. So but to courage, yeah, to go back on the beginning as well, it was I had to change everything. I had to reverse and to review my plans. Then I remember that when I decided I was in senior six, uh, mm, and I said, if I continue to feel this way, because as a shy person, like always like in my corner, and feeling like I'm part of something which is which connect me to people without also saying a word, which is a part of contemporary dance. I said maybe I can continue this, and after my national exam at P6, I got lucky, I succeeded, but I didn't know that I succeeded because I was in Europe. But how did I end up in Europe? That was also part of it. So through the annual training at University Center for Arts and Drama, I found myself in Amizero, being a part of the co-founder, 8 people who were like co-founder of Amizero. I was a part of that team, and we traveled to West Africa. I kept saying, am I really going to continue to my studies? I say, what if I fail with dance? What if I break my leg, and like dance doesn't have any retreat? Like all those fear that we sometimes have to really go somewhere and think about what we really want based on how we feel. And I can say like I had to ask too many people that I was meeting on my journey, on my artistic journey, and someone called Suleiman Korogo in West Africa told me like, do whatever makes you happy. That's what matters. And also, if you wanted to serve people, make sure like what you do, everything you do is part of that also, of you in what you are doing. So being honest, continuing in dance, I was looking for myself, my personal, yeah, myself. And also continuing my studies, like agriculture, science, I was looking for a way to feed people. Like I failed to become a doctor, then I was looking for a way I can at least serve some people. Like the people are hungry, things like that. And that's how I kept like moving in 2 ways. It was so challenging because I was supposed to travel, then coming to attend my exam, and some lecturers were saying like you really have to attend 80% of my course, like the way we did in business entrepreneurship, and like that strengthened me, by the way, when you say that those people who have like 80% and something they have to get certificate, and I said yeah, I made that before. So I kept holding on because I said I love both serving people and also feel good. And at the end, with Amizelo, I realized that when you were arranging those training with the youth, I saw like dance can also go beyond the stage and serve people in need. At that time, the people in need, well, people were like the younger generation of dancers, but I kept thinking maybe this is something that I can substitute to my studies. And then some people that I had chance to meet, they were saying like, also you really have to, you need the degree, you need to go to college, not only for your career in dance, but for your openness. So you open to the world, and you can really like it means a lot to go to school, and that's how I kept both, and and then
I,
keep going as well.
I just it makes so much sense to me, Jen, like knowing you now and knowing you from these years earlier, how you talk about like your artistic journey and following that artistic journey, and then also like this deep passion that you have to save people and help people. When I think of those two things that you say, and then I think of every activity or decision that I've ever seen you make, it's completely reflective of that. And for those of you who don't know Jean, as fortunate as I am to know him, you are a person of your plan. So that means that when you make a plan, you always follow it. And now that you're sharing with us your life plan, it completely makes sense. Every step and every decision you've made that's just grown up into another beautiful opening of the way that you're able to influence people. For some of our viewers, we're laughing here because you might not know that in Mindleaps News program, our virtual academy, you have to be online 80% of the time. So Jen and I recognize that this 80% rule is something that's near and dear to all Mindleaps people. It's a deep requirement for us right now during COVID. So thanks, Jen, for sharing one of our Mindleaps secrets with the wider group here today. Uh, so Jen, now tell us, like, part of where you've ended up is you've worked in so many different countries now with Mindleaps as our international coordinator through Kenya, through Uganda, through Rwanda, through the UNHCR camps, through Mauritania, through Guinea, all of these different communities. Can you share with us a little bit, either maybe a story or a child or a trainer that stood out for you, that you've really seen kind of this transformation in and how the dance affects these youth?
I mean, yeah, I have so many stories that I share. One is I would like to share one of the kids, Malado, in in Guinea. Malado was like he's a poor kid who grown up in a village, and he came to the town of Conakry, like looking for how he can at least attend school because he was. She was born in a family of so many kids, and the family didn't have means to take all of them to school. And then his brother brought him to Conakry, and where he was also adopted in a family where she was living as like a housekeeper at the very younger age. Normally, the kids are growing up in a place where I wouldn't say to yeah I will say abused because like no one like at that age can like really work that hard because her and her brother were thinking that's the only way for her to go to school and to have a future. And then by chance she was connected with Mindleaps when Mindleaps was doing some home visit and visiting kids on the streets. They saw a girl who was really, really vulnerable and exposed. And then they invited the Malado to come to the center. When she arrived, she was so shy. She reminds me when I was a kid. But today, when I realized that that journey that Malado has to travel, like being from a child, a shy child who doesn't know how to speak or to express herself, no confidence, and even when he succeeded, he graduated the Mindleaps test program at school. She was not good, but when you see where she is today, she's really becoming a responsible young person who is really giving promise to become a responsible adult. So she keeps dancing, and in that family, they give her the right to because she knows how to speak up and also fight for her rights. She knows now how to handle people, whoever is coming in her way, which I think comes through dance. As everyone who is following us, I see so many people who knows always my Mindleaps, so have been part of Mindleaps, and they know like those social emotional learning skills that kids get from our dance program. So Marado is, I'm proud of that kid because now she's attending the same school that the foster family, yeah, the kids from the foster family are attending, and she's the most smartest in her class. So I think that that's really good to jump on being like excuse me to say to give another story is Emanuela Himana
Oh yeah.
from our program. So Emanuela Himana maybe will have a chance to be part of this platform also, to be invited and to give his own testimony. But when I see like implementing a dance program in 2014, Emmanuel was lost child. He was half street, half home, but he was really lost. He will tell himself, but when he got connected to dance and he transformed. We sent him to school, one of the excellent school in Rwanda, but he succeeded well. And now he's one of our top kids that we can say like, he can even like he's a assistant teacher assistant in a virtual academy actually. But when you see talking about I will share one day they were like dancing and on like kind of on streets in a forest, and then there was caught by police saying like, why you don't keep the social distance, and how do you guys come up with like keep dancing? I remember one of the people who caught Emmanuel came to. I went to the station, to police station, to see them, explaining that like dance for those kids the only way they can't end up on the streets or like becoming the people that will the country doesn't want them to be. It's just they become like younger responsible adults, but soon they will become good adults and good citizens as well. And the guy told me, yeah, I know a lot. You are Eugene Dushime, right? And you're a dancer, right? And I know what you're doing. I'm going to explain to you Mindleaps. So the police guy was explaining to me exactly what Mindleaps is and what
I
Mindleaps is
love it.
and how it helped Emmanuel to change the behavior and to become a top student where he's attending school, and Mindleaps is paying his school fees. So that moved me a lot. And I say sometimes we tend to forget, but when your work becomes a routine, sometimes you have that feeling that maybe what you are doing is not really like impacting people. But someone somewhere, so many people somewhere in the silence, they are grateful. So for me, I never heard Emmanuel Ahimana telling us like he's grateful. The only way I got it was through the person he shared his story.
It's this is such
That's kind of miracle.
it's such a great story, Shen. I totally wish I had been in Kigali, Rwanda, watching this police officer explain Mindleaps, Mindleaps to you. This is just a wonderful, wonderful story. And for those of you who haven't had the chance to meet Emmanuel Akimana, he's one of our students in Rwanda. And I think all of us are crossing our fingers that one day he's going to replace you and me, right, Shen?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also thank you for sharing a story from our youth in Guinea. Our hearts go out to our team in Guinea right now with the post-election violence. And everyone is trying as much as possible to stay safe and to stay protected. And Jen and I are sending all of our Guinean friends our warm wishes at this difficult time. So Jen, we don't have that much time left, but I know one of the things that our audience wants to hear about is how COVID affected Rwanda, how it affected the Mindleaps family. And I know that you've been one of our true local heroes during this time. Share with us a little bit of the COVID story in Rwanda for us, please.
Oh, first of all, how COVID affected Rwanda, I will say like if there are some Rwandans who are healing, I will say congratulations. First, because they really handled that well in terms of tracking, also like trying to establish measures to protect people. They did a great job on that side. But on the other side, also, like, as you know, everywhere, we have like those people who lives on daily basis through doing like the work that like but moving around, washing clothes, collecting some stuff, or selling fruits on the streets, like who needs to be outside home to live. So
Yeah.
Rwanda did a great job on that, but they needed also partners like Mindleaps to help them in that. So Mindleaps was one of those NGOs who also supported. Uh, I remember the calculations that we supported over 235 in the beginning, the lockdown, the first lockdown. And I was so grateful for like that joint effort with government officials, starting from the low level up to up level. It was really good. Then after Mindleaps kept asking and wondering what will be our kids if the COVID remains and this lockdown, because those kids are coming from those families who need to go out and move to live. They will end up on the streets also, which will be a threat for a country like ours, where like they have established measures and everyone is following them. So Mindleaps also came up with an idea of like maybe continue to provide food to those families so that kids, they will not have a reason. So you will see, you see 168 kids ending up on the streets of Kigali. So that will be terrible. So we kept providing that food, but in Mindleaps, we think that's not enough. So Mindleaps had also another idea of homework distribution. We say that at least if we take one of our staff and equip him with gloves and mask and
sanitizer,
alcohol, to make sure that he doesn't attract or he doesn't contaminate anyone, and sending house to house, distributing homework, so kids can keep that interest in the school and stay on track as well, just in the case they go back to school, because no one knew at that time that kids will go back to school, but at least to maintain their interest in the school was very important. So Mindleaps did a great job on that side. We distributed homework and kids kept learning, but that also was not kind of enough. Mindleaps has to wait. Innovating in this hard period was also thinking outside of the box. Mindleaps had an idea of virtual academy. You know, the youth, most of our kids are youth actually, between 12 years old to 16 year old to 18 years old. So those kids, they like digital. They grown up in the digital world. So it was necessary to find something which would attract their attention to also stay home. The purpose was to stay at home. So to protect our children also was to invent that program, and where Mindleaps designed it as six curriculum. Rebecca, correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely correct.
6 curriculum to improve their skills, at the same time to keep them safe, while also like seeing how we are staying part of that movement to help other people to curb the spread of COVID. So that also went well. The success story outside of that is that we have kids through the virtual academy who have succeeded in their own project after the lockdown. They implemented their own project. So I think this is a short time to go in details about that. The other thing is that through the homework distribution, the kids were able to see like, we can't wait until we see like the school opening. So for them, and now we will, like when we were in the meeting this afternoon, we had the kids coming at the center asking, when are we going to school? Are we going back to school? Are you continuing to pay our school fees? Which shows like they are really eager to learn, to keep learning, because they have been learning. I know, some will wonder how it worked, but it's through that connection I said with dance, you build something which keeps you connecting to the people, especially when you have those beneficiaries. They also want to keep dancing, right? And through this period, all those three strategies helped Mindleaps and the country to keep the kids safe at home.
Jen, thank you for doing such a good job summarizing all of the different elements of COVID in Rwanda. And just to highlight your first point, I mean, everywhere around the world, I'm here in the United States right now, everybody knows that Rwanda is one of the few countries in the world that has done a proper and effective job at managing this pandemic. I know there's still been some loss of life, but just a huge congratulations to what you've done, and also just so much admiration from the American people to the government of Rwanda for managing the crisis well and effectively working with partners. We are so grateful and learning so much from Rwanda, and continue to learn from your beautiful country and its leadership. We are just, yeah, in awe of that wonderful, wonderful country and its people, Jen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And I want to take this opportunity also to wish our president a happy birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
We wish him all the best and many, many, many more years. Wow. Okay.
We are celebrating in Rwanda now.
Oh, I wish I was there to celebrate with you. A huge happy birthday to your wonderful leader.
Thank you on his behalf.
Jen, thank you for these first stories about how dance found you and you found dance, and this idea of a magnet keeping this connection, and now all the way through to how your country is managing the pandemic. We just continue to be so fortunate to have you as part of our family. Thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you, Rebecca, for this opportunity to share.
Okay, can't wait to talk to you more. Sorry, everyone. It's going to be offline now as Jen and I keep telling our stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who attended.
Thanks, everyone.